Hi there. In today's video, I'm going to discuss my personal experiences and proven recipes for increasing sales for your business. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks and some proven strategies that I have used personally in my two businesses for improving or boosting the sales in B2B. So whenever you are a sales professional that is looking to level up their game, a small or medium enterprise owner, or just a curious person that is looking to learn more about B2B sales, stay tuned because I'm going to share some pretty interesting insights with you. So let me start by sharing some numbers. B2B landscape has changed tremendously over the past couple of years, even months, I would say. I've been a sales professional for more than 10 years, particularly focused in IT industry, and I know how things have changed. Right now, some people say that even 57% of businesses are making a huge amount of the decision process before even contacting the salesperson. So once this contact is happening, you have to make sure to build trust, present your value properly, and have some things in place that will make you stand out in comparison to the competition. The days of simple slide decks presented during hours and hours of meetings are officially over. So B2B is about one business is trying to sell a product or service or set of services to another business. Unlike B2C, you are not dealing, usually at least, with one person on the other side of the table. Sometimes you are dealing with many decision makers with different interests, different values, and different things that they are looking for within your offer. B2B sales is also about building relationship, establishing trust, and making sure that you are believable and your company is credible for someone who is interested in your offer. So how to increase sales in your business? The first thing that I would recommend you to do is to properly qualify your leads. I can't stress this enough. I've seen many times over and over again people just wasting time for handling the customers or potential customers that are just not worth it, while at the same time overlooking the important ones. You should sit down and write down the things that are important for you and your business. What are the criteria that your dream customer should check out before you will devote your time and energy to service them or even to prepare a proposal for them? Let me give you an example. Let's say that you are selling trainings and someone is expressing an interest in buying a training for 400 people. That seems interesting, right? But at the same time, after a couple of meetings and a couple of hours of engaging into the conversations, it turns out that this person is just a student that is dreaming about starting their own startup or building their business around trainings, and they are just looking to test the waters and find out what the pricing for such a service might be. While this might sound like an extreme, of course, you wouldn't believe how many people do not have the decent criteria for managing and qualifying their leads properly. You should take into account things like what's the position within the organization of the person that you are talking to? What is the minimal budget that you are willing to go for in case of selling your product or service? Or what are the questions that are important for you to assess if your product or service is a good fit for the potential customer? Those are all the things that should be clear both for you as a business owner and for the sales professionals within your organization. Otherwise, anyone can say that they are dealing with hot new potential client. But the definition of that can be very different for each and every person engaged in your sales processes. So after qualifying that the prospect or potential lead is actually interesting for your company, you should have some sort of a discovery phase. So what's the goal of the discovery phase or discovery stage? It enables you to find out the key information that will further determine if the prospect is right fit for you, and at the same time will enable you to tailor the best possible offering for their business or for this particular situation that they are in. So the first thing that should happen within discovery process is that your salespeople should do the proper research on the topic, company, and the people that are involved in the first conversation. This can be done through LinkedIn, this can be done through tools like Apollo, Lusha, and guess what? Google. And after jumping on a call and having some first icebreakers, your sales team should have list of questions or list of tactics and techniques to properly discuss and discover the needs of the prospects. And this can be achieved by asking open-ended questions. Here, I would like to recommend you the book by Neil Rackham, Spin Selling. SPIN stands for situation, problem, implication, and need payoff. And in my opinion, it's one of the best sales techniques that you can use for B2B sales. So after discovering the needs of your prospects, you should further qualify them. Qualify means not if they are the right fit for your business. This you know after reading their first inquiry or responding to the first email. But right now, you are further qualifying if their situation, business, and circumstances are a good fit for your product, service, or business. Typically, it involves discovering their budget or decision-making process or any other requirements that they might have that, for example, you might not be able to meet, and therefore you might decide not to involve yourself any further. One of the examples might be that you are obliged to have some sort of an ISO certification that your business do not have right now. Maybe your solution has to be compliant with some regulations like HIPAA or any other requirements specific for an industry or a country. Other type of requirement might be the size of your business. And if you do not hit the revenue numbers of some sorts, or if your business is just too small, you might not be able to win contract one way or the other. So why bother in preparing the proposals and getting involved in the first place, right? The next thing that your salespeople or yourself should be aware of is the decision-making process. And this might involve some of the things that I've already mentioned, but at the same time, this can mean that the decision-making process will take weeks or months. You might learn a lot of things that you are not aware of, and you will not be raising your expectations when it comes to how soon you can close a particular business or an account. In my opinion, you should ask those questions. You should formulate them in a proper way for salespeople to be in handy during such a meeting. But the reality is that especially in small and medium enterprises, the decision process question is often being responded with silence. Meaning that a lot of small businesses just do not know what are their expectations, what are the criteria that will be the base of their decision. They just look for a particular solution. They haven't thought through the whole process. That might be the case when it comes to bigger businesses like enterprise level customers. The discovery phase might be also a perfect opportunity to start building the value proposition. Because if your salespeople will ask the right question, if they will discover the pain points of a particular customer, they might be able to already formulate particular solutions without, of course, disclosing too much detail about your product, services, or pricing. And here I would like to highlight once again the spin selling methodology by Neil Rackham, because it's very, very handy in building this in a proper way. You can find a link to the book below this video. And proper value proposition can also be a great way to gain competitive advantage over other companies or businesses involved in the sales process. The next technique that you can use to increase sales in your business is to prepare an exceptional proposal for your potential client. Preparing proposals might get tricky when you are not doing this right. But if your discovery phase is structured in a proper way, then putting together the proposal will just be putting together the information that you have gathered. A good proposal should contain executive summary, so highlight of the key points, of the expectations and proposed solutions. You should make sure that the needs that customer has formulated during the discovery phase are reflected within the proposal. They should be summarized in a precise and consistent way in order to serve as a base for formulating the solutions that you are about to present. Your proposal should offer a detailed solution to clients' problem or problems in a clear and concise way. Please try to avoid dozens and dozens of pages of explanations. Please try to avoid the technical specifics for your solution or service, because most of the people just do not care about them. You need to solve a particular client's problem. If you properly discovered the problem in a discovery phase, then you should have no issue with formulating this in a proper way and matching the problem with the solutions that you are offering with your product or service. Your proposal should also have pricing for a product. And by pricing, I mean something that is understandable for everyone, not just for your sales team or for you as the owner of the business. Why? Many companies, especially in B2B, have very complex pricing of their licensing, products, service agreement, and so on and so forth. You should make sure that your proposal is presenting this in a very clear and understandable way. Because maybe a person that you will be presenting the proposal to will just forward this to other people within their team. You need to make sure that it's concise, precise, and easy to understand. Your proposal should or could also contain some testimonials or case studies from your past experiences. This can boost your credibility in a client's eyes and at the same time serve as a value proposition, especially when the customer that you are pitching to is from a similar industry that your previous projects. And last but not least, your proposal should also contain next steps. Whether this is a project outline or the time frame or all of those things combined, this should be shown and reflected on your proposal in order to make sure that your customer understands what will happen if they will say yes. The third thing that you can implement starting tomorrow is to have KPIs and measure them regularly. I can stress this enough. I've been a member of multiple sales teams in my career, and I have managed multiple sales teams as a manager and business owner. And I can tell you one thing. There are good and great salespeople, and there are bad and lazy salespeople. In order to tell who's who, and in order to properly assess if your salespeople are not sleeping on a job, you should have defined KPIs that will help you determine who's who and who's the most effective to your business or company. Having properly defined stages for your sales process, having properly defined funnels that will tell you which product or which set of services is selling the fastest or is the most profitable for your business. Measuring the conversion rates and telling if there is a difference between salesperson A and salesperson B. Checking if your average deal size is staying the same, increasing or decreasing, and finding out what are the reasons behind it. And last but not least, something that I personally find very, very important. How many tasks people are doing on daily, weekly, or monthly basis. This can tell you a lot about the involvement of a particular salesperson, and trust me, there is a huge correlation between the amount of tasks executed in the CRM system and the amount of sales that a particular person can do within a certain period of time. Properly defined KPIs have allowed me to decrease the average sales cycle in B2B for one of my businesses last year from 72 days on average to 30 days of average. That's less than 50% of the time needed to close a particular sale. But I was able to do it only because I was measuring the parameters. If you are finding this video interesting and you think that it's valuable for you, please hit subscribe, give us a like and comment down below so I can supply you with more information like this. So just to summarize, I know that a lot of the things that I've mentioned today might seem to you like impossible things to do. But here's the tip. Start small and improve gradually over time. Efficient sales and marketing is a process, and you are not be able to do this overnight. But if you will start tomorrow in 5, 7, 8, or 12 weeks from now, you will have the results that you cannot even dream of right now. The second thing is that I recommend you to think this through. Before you will act, just have a meeting with your teammates, with your business partners, write down the priorities and think about the things that you either are aware of or have suspicions that might not be working properly, and start improving. And if you have any questions about B2B sales, or you would like to know more about implementations of one of the things that I've mentioned today, just leave it in a comment and I'll be more than happy to respond. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please do subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and if you are considering buying Neil Rackham's Spin Selling, then consider using our link down below. It will help us to further grow the channel and bring you some valuable insights and material. Thanks.